All right, here is our zone coverages. We play 3 easy zone coverages. We put them in. I love these with the young kids. Could get them playing right away, like in the scrimmages, or if we put them in for the 7-on-7 stuff. I love them in our zone package when we check zone to motions. And what I really love about this is when I have an offense that's running against us that really does all the rubs, and they run mesh, and they run all of the quarters, quote unquote, quarters beaters. When you check the zones, you're playing everything in front of you. You can line up to everything. And as Nick Saban always says, 3 deep, it lines up to everything, but it covers everything, but it defends nothing. I get where Nick's coming from, but I don't have Nick's athletes, Coach Saban athletes at Alabama or Michigan State and everywhere else he was been. He's always had spectacular athletes, but he does get a lot out of them. But I do see the need to have some zones in there, and I see the pluses, but I also understand the minuses. And I put them in because of the pluses. What they give me for my young kids, what they give me for motions, and what they give me for teams that are they're all about, they run bunches, they run stacks, they run wings, they run all the different rubs and motions and all that crap to try to really confuse a quarters-based team, okay? They'll run besides the formations, they'll run it with motions, but the backs are motioning now, and they're very, very good at what they do, and they don't make personnel changes either. They'll have the same 11 dudes on the field, whether they have 3 running backs or no running backs. They'll have the same 11 on the field if they have 1 tight end, or they have no tight ends, or even 2 tight ends. So sometimes you just got to play a little bit of zone and just say, look, my dudes are better than your dudes, and we're going to make less mistakes than they will. And I have an offense that can score points because I know they're going to be on the field a long time when we're playing in zone, because I'm not going to be able to, run all the blitzes and do all that stuff that I can do, because when you run blitzes, those quarterbacks get the ball out really quick, and these zones aren't really good for that up and quick, stuff and RPOs. You got to be able to play quarters, but you also have to be able to play zone, because I do believe it gives me some advantages to different things that teams want to do. Okay, so let's look at our 2 deep first. Is what we call Titan, and I'll just always use a 2x2 set. So say we're in the middle of the field, we'll go left, stud, the nose, the will. I got the spur out here. I got the jack out here because the F is away from, when F is to him, he can loosen up a little bit. He can almost get half the difference. He can apex this or split the difference. When he's away, I need him as a trigger. So we can line up out here, but he's coming off the edge. I have my hero. I have my Mike. I have my corner. My free. I have my corner, and I have my free. I always like to line up like quarters. So he's at 5. He's at 10. He's at 5. He's at 10. Okay? Apex. One nice thing about the way we do even with our quarters defense is our inside linebackers always have the same stuff. They get to their hash. So if the ball's in the middle of the field, we're looking for 10-yard, drop to 10 on the hash. Drop to 10 on the hash. Okay? If the ball's on the hash, say if the ball's, this is the short side, this is the wide side. This hero, 10 yards, but I need you all the way over to the wide side hash. The Mike linebacker pretty much drops straight back because he's right on the hash. Because the spur and the jack have curl to flat. These guys have, say, hook to curl. The jack and the spur have curl to flat. When you say that to a 15-year-old kid, they don't know what the hell you're talking about. So it's easy to say spur and the jack, drop to the sideline, from your depth, Hero and Mike drop 10 yards to the hash, which means don't drop 10 and get to the hash. Drop, see where you're lined up, and if we're playing zone or quarters, whatever, just take a look to your right and say, okay, I got to drop here on pass. Hero, I got to drop here on pass. And their rules is, hey, man, anything that comes across the middle, you're hitting and you're covering. Anything that comes across your face or wants to come across your face, you are now playing that guy. So if he runs slant and he runs slant, okay, this spur is going to end up on this slant. This hero is going to end up on this slant. I don't want you to run by him to get to him. You hit the first opposite color jersey that you see, and that's your guy as you're dropping to the hash, if that makes sense. All right, and that's what all coverage is. Now, we start at 5 in Titan, and then what we do is it becomes squat half. Okay, we say this all the time. So we end up squatting this corner. We squat this corner, half field, half field. So blue 22, we work up on the outside, and then what we do is we funnel, we jam, and now we play the flat. We jam this receiver in, and we play the flat. Half field zone, line up on the hashes, drop, looking at the quarterback. Blue 22, we're working up. Snapping the ball, we're right on his outside. We jam him, we drive him in, and then play the flat. Free safety drops down the hash. He's working to the flat. He's also working to the flat. He's working the hook curl. He's working to the hook curl. I'm sorry, I messed that up. We're dropping to the seam. Jack's dropping to the seam. He's dropping to the hash. Hash. So in Titan, corners have flat. Jack has seam. Mike has hash. Corner has flat. Spur has seam. Hero has hash. Deep. Half. Deep. Half. Zone covers underneath. We destroy anything that crosses our face underneath. Free safety drops, free safety drops. That's Titan. Okay, that's cover 2. That's old school, what they call cover 2. Squat in half. Then we have Texas. Texas is 3 deep. We'll play it from a hash, and we'll call that sky. Middle of the field, we call this trap. And now they're just the safeties. Okay? So, once again, 2 by 2. So now, once again, we have spur, we have jack, we have corner, we have free, we have corner, we have free. So we say we're the middle of the field. Middle field, left, 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 left. So then we say to ourselves, okay, 3 deep now. 3 guys deep. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. When it was Titan, we had 2 guys deep. Safety, safety. Now, we're going to have one of the corners go deep as well as one of the safeties. The other safety is going to play the middle of the field. So which means in 3 deep in Texas, Spur has flat, Jack has flat. Hero has hash, Mike has. So we got flat, hash, flat, hash. Blue 22, we're dropping out 1/3 deep. So you have from the sideline to the hash. Blue 22, we're dropping, drop deep, sideline to hash. Now we have to bring one of these guys over to the middle of the field. Middle of the field. Middle of the field. So what we're going to do is we're going to drive one of the safeties into the middle of the field, other safeties deep. So this is the trap. We are going to trap the middle of the field with one of the safeties. All right, so once again, we get him out to 10. He's at 5. Dropping points, he's at 10. He's at 5. We want to drive this safety. Blue 22 said hit. Drive him. He goes in. He sets himself right up in the middle of the field here. He comes in, or he works out to the middle of the field. So he's from, these are the hashes. 1/3. Sideline to sideline is 1/3. Hash to hash is 1/3. Sideline or hash to sideline is 1/3. That's trap. Okay. Now we're going to run Texas Sky. So now here we are. So this is the hash. So this is the short hash, just to make, because I don't have to move the front. And then this is the wide side hash. This is the sideline. So I'll move these receivers out. So here, move him here. Corner, free safety. This is corner. This is safety over here because that's the hash. There's the jack. Okay? So what we're going to do now is he's going to work to the hash. He's going to work to the flat. He's going to work to the hash. He's the middle of the field. He's the middle. He's the third. He's the flash. He's that. Bang. Sky. Okay. Actually, it's a bit more over here like this. Middle of the field. Because I don't expect this hero to get all the way out here. There's going to be a void. I know it looks like they're overlapping each other. There's going to be a void right here. So he's going to end up climbing to about here. That spur is going to be out to the sideline. And this guy, he basically just comes forward. That's Sky. So what we're doing is we're skying down to the wide side. In Texas Sky. Texas Trap, we're skying down, or we're coming down, inverting down into the middle of the field. So that's 3 deep. Once again, these make great adjustment calls for motions. And then the easiest one always is for the motions is our Falcon. Four deep. So we have spur, we have jack, corner, free, corner, free. 4 deep. Deep, 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 deep. 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. Flat. Hash, hash, flat. What I don't have in quarters or in Falcon is a good pass rush. But it makes an easy check for motions is Falcon, but it's 4 deep at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is our zone coverages. Very easy to do. JV kids, you can literally live in 2 and 4 all game long. Keep them corners and squat halves, and have those safeties deep, because when you go 4 deep, the safeties aren't doing anything different. They're still dropping the same spot. So when it's Falcon, the corners drop. When it's Titan, the corners are up. You know what I mean? And they have everybody underneath just play the ball. Just play football at that point. All right? That is zone coverages.